We're now live. Good evening. Welcome to the Auburn Board of Health meeting. Today is Monday, June 12th. I'd like to call a meeting to order at 6:02 p.m. And at this time, just going to have everybody review the agenda and see if there's anything we need to add or remove.
So, Ray, if I may, we have 2 out of 3 sets of minutes.
Okay.
So we have the November and April minutes.
Okay.
So we're going to hold on the August.
Okay, that's fine. All right, let's just take a couple minutes to review. And I know the air zone, but I think one of the doors has to remain open.
I think we, yeah.
Yeah, just even if it's open at 8 to 10 inches, it just has to be open a little bit, that's all.
We open this one.
All right. I'm reading it says open meeting law. I'm like, oops, we're supposed to leave the door open. Yeah, my last meeting I did, I pulled something like that. Any questions or concerns? Okay, before you do that, on April 13th, 2017, I don't know if it's just, it says all the votes go 0-2 instead of 2-0. I don't know if that's, because I looked at the other one and it's usually all in favor, it's 2-0, so all of them are 0-2.
Yep, I'll change that again.
Okay, so you just want to flip-flop
Yep.
those, that's it.
Okay.
Just all in favor, 0-2, I'm like, I don't think the meeting
No.
still continued. So, all
That's my
right.
error. Sorry.
So if we can, I'll take a motion to approve the minutes with that change.
Yep.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for April 13th, 2017, with the change for the vote to say 2-0.
I second the motion. How do you vote?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And the November 30th?
I make a motion to accept the minutes for November 30th, 2016.
Okay. I second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Moving on. We'll go right into agenda items, and we'll start with director's issues.
Okay. So we have, in your packets, you have the annual Mass Department of Public Health cancer registry notice. So this is, as you are familiar with, they send this out for the city and town supplement. Typically it comes the same time each year. So it gives you some general information regarding the research that they do. And then they have the observed and expected case counts at the end. So, you know, obviously, they send this information out, it's per town. I think it's probably best to be reviewed, to look at what we've received, in the past, and maybe a future intern project to maybe look what we have on file.
See if the percentage rate from year to year has changed.
Right, exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. Might be something.
Because we're
nice
low in
for-
some, high in others.
Right. Just thinking, for an intern that has some maybe interest for statistics and medical background might be interesting.
You're ahead, I think.
Okay. So, for septic and well update, in your packets, I think you have, a review and an approval letter. So we are obviously in septic season. In one day, all of a sudden, summer's here. So we have several septic and well projects going on. So we're actively in the middle of many projects. For housing, we do have several housing cases going on as well. We also have coordination with the state for a lead inspection. Animal control, I wanted to give you an update from animal control as far as licenses. So licenses were due April 1st. A series of reminder letters have gone out to residents that have not licensed. I believe Amy identified that we have, I think about 1,800 licenses so far, dog licenses. And she has sent out the last of the reminder letters. So as of July 1st, we will be sending out citations.
Okay.
So just a reminder for people to try to get their licenses up to date through the town clerk's office. The Worcester Regional Tobacco Control Coalition Collaborative. So in your package also, we have two citations that were issued. And as you are aware, we do have the compliance checks that are done through WRTCC. And unfortunately, we've had two businesses sell tobacco to underage youth. They go in to do a compliance check, they send in a minor, they attempt to purchase a tobacco product, and unfortunately during this round of compliance checks we had two. So citations have been issued to those two businesses.
Have they responded to pay, or are they looking to?
Yeah.
Usually they pay those pretty quick, so.
We have been fortunate, one was paid immediately. They acknowledged that they acknowledged that they did actually do it, they didn't argue. They said unfortunately they had a disgruntled employee on their last day, and so they weren't carding. So we had that explanation from one business. And then I had Paula reach out to another business a couple of times, and has a corporate headquarters. So the citation, I wanted to make sure that we spoke to the licensing authority. So I had her reach out a couple times, and just today we got confirmation that they are going to pay as well. So one is paid. One is not, but we're hoping that there is going to be payment soon.
Yeah.
However, there is a court hearing date already scheduled through Worcester Housing Court.
Okay.
So if we don't receive payment for that, we
Yeah.
will be, we already have a court date.
Okay, good.
Okay, so just wanted to give you an update on that.
And the calendar starts now on those, right? You know, we have that
Yes.
18-month or whatever it is, all that, okay?
Yep. And also, I had, in the past, right now, actually, it's, not that it's good timing, but I think it's an opportune time to remind the businesses, because we're renewing the tobacco permits right now.
Mhm.
And so, I had Paula, get, a, notice to go in each permit that we're sending out, just to remind business owners to make sure that they're carding.
Yep.
So, we will be sending those out with the permits, just as a reminder, so that businesses, I mean, obviously they should know, we have the regulations in place, they have state regs, we have local regs, but, you know, if tobacco gets in the hands of youth, obviously, it's a problem.
Sure.
So those are copies of the citations that went out recently. And then we just received this not too long ago, within the past couple of weeks. I wanted to give you just, I thought it was good because it visually shows the Tobacco 21 update and what towns have gone Tobacco 21. So again, I know the board has looked at this, and if no changes are necessary this time, that's fine. But I at least wanted to just give you an update as to where, you know, obviously a lot of activity around the Boston area.
Okay. So one thing I would suggest
Yeah,
is bring this back in July, because you're gonna have a new board set up and everything change.
sure.
So, I think, you know, there's gonna be a few things that, you know, I was strong, not against, but like waiting for the state to do things. You may get a board member who really wants to see it, so I think
Sure.
maybe I would table this, or not table it, I mean, just bring it back again. Then you might, at that point, you might have a full board of 3 at the same time. I know I'm headstrong on a lot of things, so I think, you know, not that I push my point on everybody, but I think I would have been a big proponent on pushing that off, so I think it's not a bad idea to, you know, bring it with a new board and have them all look at it together and discuss it again.
Okay. So that just gives you the update for WRTCC. So for solid waste, I wanted to give you an update. We have the grant for the solid waste reduction coordinator. So where we're at right now is that we are obviously going to be in the new fiscal year come July 1st. We will be posting the position in the very near future for the solid waste reduction coordinator. And we're hoping to bring that person on board. Our timeline was to bring them in over the summertime to be able to get them trained. We have been working with the solid waste contractor to identify the routes and what streets are in the different routes, so we'll have maps. So we're doing some of the background work right now
Yep.
to be able to get that person, when that person comes on.
Up and running right away.
Exactly.
Yep.
So Amy Sullivan, our recycling coordinator, has also been working on some of the materials that we're going to be sending out. So we're going to do, as we talked about, educational campaign for sending out the materials so that people are aware of what they shouldn't be putting in the toter. And then we'll also send out like what we call like a problem mailer. So it would be in the form of like a postcard, and to highlight a problem that we're having with recycling toters. So what are people putting in recycling toters? What's the one thing that we could have people take out that would help improve our recycling materials? So I think one of the highlights, and I think maybe we saw this when we went to Casella, of plastic bags. So a lot of times people put the recycling, cans, bottles, any materials, they put them in a bag and then they put the bag in the toter. It's
Defeating the purpose.
Right, it slows down the production and it gets hung up through the equipment over at Casella. So I think the problem mailer card is going to highlight bags, but we're still working that out. So we're doing some of the background work to be able to get this person, at least when they get here, because we're only going to have them obviously part-time, so we want to utilize their time out in the field as much as possible. So I just wanted to give you an update on that. And then we also have another grant that we're going to be applying for. This is the grant that we do yearly. So Amy Sullivan, again, who's very familiar with the DEP grants, we're very fortunate to have her. She's able to prepare the grant application, and we'll be requesting the selectmen permission to apply for the grant again. So we get grant funds. It helps us promote programs in the schools. It helps us get recycling toters for residents. It does a number of things that we normally couldn't do. So it's really nice. So that is update for solid waste. I just wanted to kind of bring it up. We have the one that we're working on, and then also we're applying for another one. So very busy, obviously. Central Mass Mosquito Control. I think I put in your packets. I two-sided it. So those are the two recent notifications that we got from Central Mass Mosquito Control. The state, I believe, begins today to track arbovirus, and so Central Mass Mosquito Control sends out, very, very good about sending out notifications monthly to us to tell us when their meetings are, when they're going to be in town, spray schedules, and you know, if people want to opt in, want to opt out, or they want to request for spraying, they can do it all through Central Mass Mosquito Control. I've called there before. I've sent over residents. They are very, very responsive. So I just figured it would be nice to have that in there. We also have that information sent. So the town clerk and I usually get it, and so we coordinate getting it on the website. So that information is on the website, and it's also should be on LCAC, cable access. Flu season, I wanted to let you know, just recently we got from the Mass Department of Public Health our flu confirmation. So we're getting state vaccine. As last year we did, I believe, 50 doses from the state. Obviously they have strict guidelines on who that 50 doses can go to. So we have that, and then separately we have the private order. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know we just got that vaccine confirmation from the state recently. And then just compost bin and rain barrel promotion. We've had some increased activity for the compost bins. Rich, I don't know if you can get this. I'm going to keep the flyer there. Perhaps they can put it on.
We can get it. See if we can get a picture of that or something and get it on ticket.
So the compost bins are $55, and we actually sold out of the kitchen scrap buckets, I think, last week. So we'll be placing another order. But those, and also we're selling the rain barrels right here. DBW got a grant, so they were able to purchase some rain barrels, get rain barrels through a grant funding opportunity. There will be we're going to try to promote these at some of the town events. I believe there's a farmer's market coming up at the end of the month. So we figured that might be a good choice to, you know, showcase some of these items so residents are aware that we have them. AED update. So we have, as you may be aware, we have AEDs that were purchased by the Pappases, generosity, and we have AEDs located in several town buildings. those AEDs need to be maintained, and so the Board of Health works side by side with the Auburn Fire Department to be able to make sure that we check on the AEDs, make sure that the batteries and the pads are up to date. So we have been able to use some grant money that we've got received from the chamber to be able to update the pads and the batteries. And we just got these in. I thought these were really kind of a
Hang
nice
those on
touch.
the wall above it so
Exactly,
you can see 'em.
yeah. So you go to a flush surface, so it goes to the wall and then it'll essentially stick out. So we noticed when we were going around that some of the AEDs, although they're in containers, the containers on the wall, if you're not familiar with the
I think it's a fire extinguisher box or something like that.
yeah, exactly. So it kind of jumps out.
Yep.
So it's against the wall, so it jumps out. So I'll be working with DPW to see if we can get these. I mean, they're just popping a
Yeah.
couple
What,
screws or nails.
How many did the Pepsis get for the town? I can't remember how many. It was
The units,
how many
I
units?
think, so there's units at both the school and town buildings.
Yep.
So the schools are managed by the facilities.
Yep.
They take care of all the school building AEDs, and then we have approximately about a dozen or so
Oh, wow.
for town buildings.
Yeah.
So obviously we have, in this building, DPW, senior center, library,
What, the golf course?
golf course, yeah.
Yeah.
We just actually there's one at the golf course, we just actually brand new a storage cabinet.
Good. So when I'm up there on Saturday and Sunday mornings at 5:30, somebody
Say
can
that.
restart me.
So we're noticing,
Good.
what is needed for the different buildings that they're at, so we know we needed signage. So I just wanted you to see, I thought maybe it might be nice for people in town to be able to recognize the signs so that when you're in a building, you
Mhm.
kind of look and see where they are.
Good.
So that is an update for AEDs. And I think that's all for that. Any questions on anything? I know I kind of went fast.
No, that's fine.
Okay. Communicable disease. So we have the Maven report dropped up by Cheryl Bruinski, our public health nurse.
Yep. Nothing jumps out at me. It looks like all the normal.
You hold it up.
So yeah, that's nothing.
Let me just try it again, but it's Zoom.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to hold it up?
Yeah, hold it up. There we go.
So no, that's good. I mean, nothing jumps out at us, so that's good. Yes. Usually I look at. I do all the stuff for Westboro, so it's like I look at the ones,
Awesome.
the big ones with the big red flashing lights. And we had a full case like
Thank
the
you.
The TV cases were always fun. So we have shovels for those for us too.
Okay.
All right. So
And then
inspections.
for inspections, so unfortunately Eileen couldn't be here this evening, but I wanted to. Oh, hi, Mark. Okay. Did you want to come into the Board of Health meeting? Yep, please come on in.
Sneaking in,
Yep, absolutely.
got just in time.
You're straight ahead.
Okay, that's it.
Yep, should be all clear.
Okay, good, thanks.
Okay, so for production, I'm happy to report that since since I think the last reporting we were in 40%,
Thanks, Chris.
we are up to the high 80s. I'm sorry, 80s. 83% we are at, and we're working towards hopefully having full compliance by the end of the month.
Great.
So I know it was important to be able to do that, and I wanted to
Well, that's
make
awesome.
sure
I got on the board 8 years ago, and that was the one goal they gave me when I was put on the board. So now, on my last month, it'll
Yeah,
hit the
yeah.
100, and I'll hit my goal and walk out the
Yes.
door.
I mean, you know, obviously done a great job keeping us moving forward, and, you know, obviously the town recognizes we need help doing
Yeah.
that. So it's a win-win for everybody. So Erin, the new inspector, has been out going through, you know, working with establishments, important on follow-up re-inspections.
Yep.
Just in the short amount of time she's been here, she's already seen power outages and, you know, coolers go down, and
Was there a fire?
we've had fire. Yeah. So we've had a lot happen just in the short time she's been here, and now, of course, we've got summer, so we've got a lot of the temporary events. So she's going to start to get her taste of that. So, yeah, I wanted to just let you know the temporary events that we have coming up. So we have the Independence Celebration. It's going to be June 29th. And already I think we have, I think we're up to a dozen food vendors. Does that sound about right, Paula? Yeah. So we are in that range, and obviously this is, I think, the biggest year for that number of vendors. In the past, we've had about
It's
half
also
that.
the date you're doing it is so far off from everybody else
Yes,
that you're going to get
yes.
people who normally wouldn't be able to do it because,
Right.
oh, I'm already doing this town, I'm already doing that
Exactly.
town.
Yep.
So you get more different vendors,
Yeah.
which is great.
So we are, we're very fortunate that we have a lot of interest in that event. And then we do have a farmer's market kickoff event. It's going to be June 25th, which is actually a Sunday. And the flyer, I don't believe the flyer's gone out yet. However, it should be going out any time. Excuse me. The farmer's market is being coordinated through the Auburn Recreation and Culture Department. Kristen Kappas working along with a community partner, Packagug Church. So it's kind of a nice synergy. to
And
be able
where's that
to
one
work
going to be?
together.
Is that at the library or is that, or where are they putting this one? Because I know a lot of
I know
times they do them by the library on
Yeah, there was
Saturdays,
some
so.
discussion for the library and also for Packagug Church, so I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to say, until the
think-
flyer comes out,
I think Packagug Church would be a nice place
Yeah.
because you can park over at Pappas and walk over if there's not a lot of parking.
So as soon as that flyer comes to us, then we will obviously get it out through the cable access and on the town website and posted our usual spots. So that will be coming up. We have had some emergency inspections since we met last. We do have a fire
Yep.
in one of the restaurants, and you know, obviously some follow-up was needed.
Yep.
So that occurred. And then as far as new establishments, I know that Eileen and Erin are working with several, and we've had some interest in mobile food. So we have mobile food, and there's still, I think you're going to ask me about the donut place.
No, I'm not going to ask you about the donut place.
Okay. But we do have, we have several in process.
Okay.
Still the same ones, nothing new.
No, okay.
So I wanted to give you an update on that. And then,
To schedule the next meetings, I think you're going to have to do it by email.
okay,
Because that's July, and you can't send something with just one member here. You need two at least to get that done. So
absolutely.
so I would hold on that and just you know, I think just to let you know, summer schedule, we try and go once a month. So I would look into that and then go from there. I don't know what Steve has planned, but I know he goes away a lot, so up to his, was it Vermont or something, his camp, so we can figure that out with him, so.
And then I also wanted to, obviously, recognize, I think this is your last meeting, Ray.
Yes.
You've been on the board a long time, and you let us.
I'm trying to skip over that.
You've led us through a lot, and you've seen a lot of changes on the board. And personally, I'd like to thank you for everything that you have done for us and supported the board and supported the staff. It is very much appreciated.
Thank you. I'll still be here for support, but I just won't be here.
Thank you.
I'll still be, as you guys need anything, I'm still around if you have questions, and if you have a question on the board, not a problem. You have my email. Yeah, I'm around. I'll still be around. I just, after 8 years, I need a break. That's the big thing, so.
That large number?
Huh?
That large number?
At large member? I don't know. I'm trying to stay away from that. Maybe I'll come in and hassle you. I'll sit in the back and hassle you guys from the back every once in a while.
You come in, we're gonna give you something to do.
That's all right. I always have
We
something
need
to
the
do.
help.
So.
Is that planning board?
No, if I do anything, it'll be rec department because I like to have fun.
I've joined our committee.
So we can, we'll make a note to at least reserve the room our normal dates.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the board can decide when they want to meet.
Yeah, Caroline, you can decide when you want to meet.
So,
So, at this time, is there anything else?
I don't think so.
I'll take a
The last
motion to
step-
close the meeting.
I will make a motion to close the meeting.
I second the motion.
23rd, that's-
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much, Alvin. It's been great for 8 years. Have a good night.
Thank you.